Commish cash. I guess we're like, was it Green Day? Wake me up when September ends. I think me and Christopher are feeling that way about our teams right now.
Yeah, exactly.
In fantasy football, but and I think especially with some injuries popping up here and some disappointments, Brock
Yeah.
Bowers. It's
Yeah.
been one of those years, but we got a lot on the agenda tonight. I think we're going to go for a wide range of topics. We're going to, dip our toes in college football. We got the important game this weekend. There you go. And
Game day in Tuscaloosa.
we're going to dip into the fantasy football world and also the NFL world. So, and whatever else comes up, you never know with us. So,
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go ahead and kick it off. Should we? Well, y'all want to go first? Y'all want to go?
I think we should each present what we think the biggest story of the first 4 weeks of the NFL season is so far, in your mind.
Okay. Well, I'll start first. I'll give you a kind of a surprise. I think Jacksonville.
Okay.
They kind of showed me something yesterday. I think we went out to San Francisco and beating them. I mean, that's hard to do. Go out the West Coast. I think they're better than a lot of people thought. I think them and I'll kind of dip into AFC South, Indianapolis as well. But I think those two teams, my two biggest surprises so far. Been impressed with both quarterbacks, both teams playing really good defense. I think that's going to be a really good race to the end of the year there.
This is every year we're like, is Jacksonville going to be the surprise team? And I think you're right. I think this year could be it. I mean, they're doing the impressive thing to me is they're doing this with arguably their best offensive player, scared to catch the football. I don't know what is going on with Brian Thomas Jr., but they're 3-1 with him not playing at his A game. If he, gets back to that level, they're a really scary team.
Yeah. And I think, again, we had talked, thankfully, the Bucs are 3-1 and we're not feeling the Liam Cohen after effects. But I tell you, Liam, he's brought some grit too. I mean, after you saw what he did on the field afterwards, basically giving it to Robert Salah there. And if we had Wayne here, I'm sure we'd hear another side. But it's like, you're going to bring up like sign stealing kind of thing. Like, let's do our talking on the field. And ironically, I mean, they just every time it looked like San Francisco was coming back, they just shut the door. It was very impressive. So
I follow a guy on Twitter called The Honest NFL, who's I don't really know who or what he works for, and I think he's probably under NDAs because of that. But he is one of the most interesting, knows the X's and O's, can describe the exact routes and what each route on a route tree on every single play is designed to do, this kind of thing. He's worked clearly in offensive rooms. And when this story about sign stealing came out, he was like, this is a bit ridiculous. Every team does this. Every team with the technology and what you're allowed to do. He's like every first day quality control guy working for an NFL team goes in and they listen to their upcoming opponents and they listen to what the defensive players are saying on the field and the signs that they're two taps on the helmet with both hands saying, Mike means that they're running man coverage and, press coverage on this set safety, blah, blah, blah. Every team does this kind of stuff. So for Robert Salah to say that the week of the game and then to lose, Liam Cohen, hats off to you. That's really impressive.
Yeah. And like you said, they're certainly not playing their A game with Brian Thomas just acting like it's a true sophomore slump. It's crazy. And maybe one of the days a certain Heisman Trophy winner will actually start playing as well. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's acting like they're just running, which again, honestly, Liam did with Bucky and Rashard White, and that was pretty impressive. But just running NTN and it's impressive what they're doing and how they're doing it. So there's no doubt. Now I'll do the flip side. It's like, talk about, your disappointments. And after yesterday, one of the, two best teams was going to be 1-3. but then just for the Ravens to crumble, because I think a lot of people still thought the Ravens were going to be the team,
Yeah.
and it just, especially from, again, I mean, literally having 7 of their 11 starters on defense. Again, another hero pick that's just being killed by the injury bug. 2 more went on, season-ending, IR today. So I mean, it's unbelievable. And then Lamar to go, I mean, Superman, right? The other Superman besides, Josh, but to see him just not be effective, and then Derrick Henry, I played what, like 6 snaps. It's
Yeah, he had
hard.
8 carries.
8 carries. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable to see. But I mean, I think they're toast. I mean, I sent one of my good friends, who's a huge Buffalo Bill fan. I went, that was your competition. I mean, it's now literally it's the 2 undefeated teams.
Yeah.
Although I will say the Bucks, after being it handed to them in that first quarter, had an impressive comeback.
Well, I
Yeah.
think you and I could talk about the Bucks all day long, and
Yeah.
the Eagles too.
So
The Eagles have serious problems. They're 4-0, and that's covering over, a lot of problems. Jalen Hurts had 0 completions in the second half yesterday. 0.
right, 0 passing
And-
yards. Saquon
And
was like a
Saquon's averaging like
2.6.
3.1 yards a carry right
Yeah.
Yeah,
now.
2.6 yesterday. Yeah.
So their offense is in trouble,
Wow.
and they're getting their defense is still unbelievably good. Jihad Campbell, who I wanted for the Bucks, we don't need linebacker help. And then our 2, no offense to Levante, love him. He's getting a little old. Servassier not having a great year. We could have used someone like Jihad Campbell. Granted, we would not be 3-0 or 3-1 without Emeka Egbuka. So it's like
Right.
it's a trade-off there.
You're
But
100%.
That's not
their
a bad
defense-
pick.
yeah, their defense and their special teams are really covering up a lot, I think, on the Eagles standpoint. And yeah, I mean the Chiefs might be back. So I guess the Eagles, that kind of ties into my biggest story that I wanted to spend some time talking about, the special teams play this year. Special teams across the NFL
Right.
has never been more relevant. You can talk about
Right.
kicking, these long kicks. Nick Folk tonight just set a career-long record kick, which I promise you both.
What was it? I haven't been watching.
It was a 58-yard kick.
Okay.
But
Yep.
I promise you both, I know why this is happening. And the amount of blocked plays and the changes to kickoffs and the landing zone and what kickers have figured out about knuckleballing and the way they're bouncing the ball into the landing zone and things like we've
Or
seen.
missing it, if you're a, certain kicker for a certain team, which costs their team the league, but yeah.
Yeah. But we're there's a lot of special teams play going on, and it is a oft forgotten component of the game that is
Right.
this year is showing how important it is. Like the Packers
Right.
last night probably cost them the win just from that blocked extra point, and that changed the whole dynamic of that game.
Yeah.
So
So do tell.
all right. So apparently the NFL changed a rule this year. Something that I didn't know about NFL footballs. There are footballs used in regular
Right, the
play,
kicking
and then there's
balls, yep,
kicking
yep.
footballs.
Right.
Before, kicking footballs, kickers and punters only had like an hour before the game to scuff them up,
Mark it
break
up.
them in. And now their K-balls that they're allowed to use, they're allowed to just like use ones that have already been well broken in. So you're seeing Chase McLaughlin kick the longest outdoor field goal ever. You're seeing kickers making 60, 58 plus yard kicks with regularity. And it's not like the kickers, I mean, maybe some of it is the kickers are stronger than they've,
Sure. Yeah.
stronger than they've ever been. But a big component of it is that they changed this rule that kickers are allowed to use these.
Hold on a second. I think Tua may have just gotten another concussion. He was
No.
close.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, he's fine. Never mind. He was laughing about it.
Well, Tyreek Hill already. I mean, injuries is another a whole other story.
Yeah. But go ahead. Sorry, I was late.
But yeah, so this rule change with what balls are allowed to be used, it allows kickers to have a lot more control and a lot more distance on their kicks. So I think that's playing into it. And there's been a little bit of pushback too with the new kickoff rules and starting at the 35. I know a lot of people got upset the other night about oh man, I can't even remember what team it was. Oh,
You're right, man. With Arizona when they
yeah,
blew it up. Yeah.
kicked it 2 yards short. One play, 122-yard play. Seahawks are in field goal range, make a long field goal. It's like, well, that kind of feels anticlimactic. Like you
Right.
missed the landing zone by 1 yard, and because of that,
But
they, you know. But in my opinion,
yeah,
the
that's
rule's a rule. They made the rule.
it's a skill. Let's make
Yeah,
kicking a skill, again, versus what you look at college football. It's like, I forget which game I was watching. Somebody said, I think it might have been Florida State. It was like 73 straight kickoffs into the end zone.
yeah.
Oh, is that something you want to like be proud of,
Yeah,
So
I mean, kickoff returns went from like 30% last year to 70% this year. They turned a play that wasn't a play into an actual play that
right,
you have to be good at and execute on now.
right, right.
And I think that, like we do in the BFFL, I think that's only a good thing, adding more
Sure.
strategy,
Strategy.
more,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
more impact to various moments of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little bit of my special teams rant.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say, and I'll take it from a different part of special teams, but you're right. I had heard about that kicking rule, and you're right, because one of my friends who's not a big, he's a big Dolphin fan, but he's not as intricate as we are, and he was asking about that too. And honestly, of course, my really thought was, hey, it's just, it's better, like strength and conditioning and stuff. But you're right. I totally forgot about the K balls and that type of thing, which it's kind of like, when Major League Baseball, always have some attendance down, they just change the ball and get some home runs. So,
Yeah,
but my take is look at the other side. It's the block kicks and really some of the returns. So returns obviously is a little tougher, but the block kicks is just, I think what you've actually seen now is that, it used to be, what was special teams? Those were the last like 6 guys to make your roster. That was going to be on the special teams. And it literally was an afterthought. Now, some teams really like focused on it and have always been good, and it's been things. But now I think you're seeing, and I don't have any really hard evidence on this, but I will tell you that there's for sure that there's better athletes they're putting on special teams. They're spending much more times of actually trying to figure out how to, spread. When you looked at the kick that was blocked, in Chicago, the guy just came from the outside, but he's like, you're going to use like literally like a 4-3 defensive back guy that's coming and just basically go as fast as he can, extend, and he blocked the kick. So, I mean, it's like just being, so they're like, wait a second, what else can we do? It's back almost in the day when you think of the Wildcat, when somebody came up
yeah,
to that and it went crazy. So I think really just the NFL part, they're like, oh gosh, we got offense, defense, and what else do we have to like spend our time on for, 24/7? It's putting certain schemes together from the outside. And once you start spreading out the blockers, then you come from the inside. When you
yep.
see like how to block a Buccaneer kick, you just come through the straight. I mean, it's
There,
just things like that are just, I mean, people are focusing on it. And now it's just going to teach them that they're really going to have to do
Well,
something special.
also, like they're timing it, right? And
yeah,
like usually, like what the holder, he'll put his hand out,
Yeah.
and what they're
Yeah.
doing is like as soon as that hand goes
One,
out, they're
two,
they're
three.
coming.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, like, okay, a lot of these kickers are now, unless you're like maybe the Falcons kicker hitting 50-yard plus field goals consistently. So they're like, if it's 4th down and 15 and you jump off sides, no big deal. I
yeah,
mean, they're gonna kick the kick, they get
yeah,
another kick, no big deal. So, but if you're timing
Right.
it just right with that hand
it,
Yeah.
going up, so now I've teams are starting to go 1, 2 to
yeah,
try to get
Yeah.
them to draw off sides. So,
Yeah.
like, I think it was like Belichick who kind of, I'll give Belichick credit for one thing, but he
Sure.
would have this outside guy time it. And he
Right.
was
Right.
last couple of years at New England. One of the few things he actually did well was that they would time it, and he really, just go on one, no big deal. You lose 5 yards on an extra point. Who cares? They move what, half a yard,
Right.
yeah,
So I think that's part of the reason. And going with yours, Christopher, like you have this 4-3 40 defensive
yeah.
back coming around the corner. If he can time it right, yeah, absolutely, they're going to hit it.
Right.
I'm just going to synthesize what you both were saying. I think you both are right. I think the coaches, it's like, what area of the game can we maybe take a little bit more risk for huge reward? Like, the league is
Right.
moving full on into, we've got time management experts now. Teams are getting much better at managing the clock, managing end of game scenarios so that they, I mean, the Cowboys and Packers went a little too deep on that last night, but um managing like you said, Matt, the risk on an offside on a play like that is nothing compared to the potential benefits of timing it correctly, jumping and getting a block is huge, and game swinging. So it's just another little tweak that these coaches are making to have big advantages in these kind of
Yeah.
games that
Yeah.
you wouldn't really ever expect
Yeah.
if you're, a more conservative head coach or a more conservative team.
Well, and the talent gap in the NFL is razor thin anyway. I mean, you can say, look at like these two teams tonight, the Cleveland, the Jets and the Dolphins, both 0-3, and the Bills are 4-0. Yeah, but the talent gap, you saw it yesterday with the Saints
Oh,
and
the
the Bills.
Saints.
Yeah.
Saints
I
and
mean,
Buffalo had them.
Buffalo
Yeah.
was what, 15.5-point favorites.
Right.
And that game was really close in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a
Yeah.
5-point game.
Right.
So the talent gap is pretty narrow. So if you can get an edge, like, hey, we blocked a field goal and ran it back, for a touchdown. I mean, that's a big swing. I mean,
Yeah,
you're looking at a 10-point swing there.
it swung the entire Bucks
Right.
game yesterday. I think
Mhm.
the whole
Oh, yeah.
first half, they're in their heads digging themselves out of a hole. And Baker and
Right.
Levante both said it at halftime. Like, they're like, we can't start slow like that mentally. We know we're good enough, but
Mhm.
that
Right.
one play, and it's just like, oh man, we're already 2 minutes into the game having to dig ourselves out of mistakes, and multiplying that by dwelling on it or what have you until the game became really hard to recover from. But yeah, it's not been the start to the year that I was anticipating. I think another interesting thing, I don't have like empirical stats on this, but I feel like the average depth of target of every NFL team is like 5 yards. There's barely anyone throwing the
Well,
ball down the field with
yeah,
consistency.
right. Well, you know what? It's funny because, again, I'm watching very closely a couple teams that are having this issue, and obviously one is the Bucks. And I think it's because, I mean, just think of it, how important, I mean, football is honestly, it's won and lost in the trenches. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that's just where, I mean, Baker, ever since we've had 60% of our line pretty much gone or decimated, I mean, he has been running for his life. And you don't have the time. I mean, and I only watch literally, because I just can't, I couldn't, even though it was an amazing game. So I missed an amazing game, but I was also just wallowing in the game last night. I mean, so
Mm.
Dak doesn't have much time. Baker doesn't have much time. Herbert doesn't have much time after he I mean, so you don't really have that time to sit back there. I mean, gone are the days where you could literally have these, offensive linemen, or flip to the defensive side when you have these defensive players that are not like superstars now. I mean, you are just unbelievably. I mean, again, that the Giants, while they're not an amazing team, they've got an amazing defensive line, and the Eagles have an amazing defensive line. They're winning. Hey, we're just not going to let you have more than like, oh, I don't know, 2.5 seconds period to
Yeah.
make it. You can barely get back, and read anything if you're, after a second and a half. So that means you literally have 1 second. And by that time, you're literally just heaving the ball if you want to throw it downfield.
Well,
So I
also,
just,
yeah.
yeah,
Also, you got teams running two deep safeties. They're having their safeties play 15, 20 yards
yeah,
behind. And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, dink and doink us. We'll make you earn it,
Yeah.
yeah,
and I think, like the Falcons, that was a problem for the Falcons. Like they're great inside the 20s up until probably yesterday. But once they got inside the 20, the field tightens up. And so you can't make those throws. Like you can't make 5-yard throws, 10-yard throws inside the
Yeah.
20. So I think you've seen teams, especially after Mahomes had that record-setting year where he had
Yeah.
like 50+ touchdowns. I mean, he was
right,
throwing deep all the time with Tyreek,
right,
and teams are like, well, we'll just start running 2 deep safety, make you run the ball. We'll dare you to
Right.
run the ball, and dink and doink down the field. And I think, seeing Worthy back yesterday will help him. But like, you're just seeing teams having to go, including your pass rush. I think, Christopher, the
Yeah.
combination of those 2 things are just making teams throw 5-yard passes.
I'm, kind of side note, I'm very scared of the Chiefs right now. They looked really good yesterday, and they're only going to get better once Rashee Rice gets back. And Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Giants gave some Chargers some humble pie yesterday. That's for
yeah.
sure.
Well, the Chargers. I mean, what happened to Jim Harbaugh? What are they doing throwing the
I
ball
know.
50 times
Yeah,
a game?
please.
I don't know.
Whatever
Stop,
imposters.
please.
Just run
But
the ball.
But you know what? It's funny. I mean, you look at it's just one of those things too, that no matter what's in your mind or your mentality as a coach or whatnot, when you have the talent of Justin Herbert, then you have the skill. I mean, Quentin, he's wow. I mean, he's come into his own. Keenan Allen, one of the best. McConkey, he's there. Or McCaskey. It's one of those where you
McConkey,
just
yeah.
look at. Yeah, it's you've got the talent. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're silly not to use that. And then when people are doing that, then you've got Hampton. So I just think it doesn't even make sense to try to run something when, unfortunately, like I said, I mean, they lost Slater, who was their all-world left tackle, and then again, Alt got hurt yesterday, so I mean that hurt them even more. But they just couldn't run. I mean, I was watching those first couple of games. They tried to run, and then they just couldn't because they were literally getting hit in the backfield. So he's like, well, we can put Herbert in a shotgun. Again, we'll have our 2.53 seconds. And then Herbert is surprisingly nimble or out of the pocket, and he was finding time. And again, you have 3 talented wide receivers. You can do things in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I think sometimes the game plan just gets away from you. You might go in thinking, hey, we're going to run 40 or 45% of the time. But then as the game goes on, you're like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
You look at the stat sheet and it's like, we threw the ball 50 times,
Yeah, I'll never forget the year that it was coming after Peyton Manning had one of his just incredible years, and it was with him and Adrian James and Marvin and stuff like that. And I'll never forget, this was the famous time that Rick and I traded with your dad, Austin, and we switched like 3 to 5, whatever, and we traded for Peyton Manning, and it was like all they did was hand off to Adrian James. And it was just like, and we had Adrian James as a rookie franchise tag for like 2 years. And it was just like unbelievable. I mean, literally he threw like 23 touchdowns, and it wasn't like he was bad. It was just, they were letting Adrian James run for 1,800 yards and they were still winning the games. I mean, it was like every single game. So they were like, gotcha. You were planning for Peyton Manning to come out throwing the ball and they just, so I think that's what a lot of teams are doing. They're expecting the Harbaugh run game, and they're like, whoa. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and unfortunately, maybe, the unfortunate, it's not a new story, but certainly it's the decimation of injuries that literally, because and I'll be talking about it in a little bit, but the Brick Hat and Brief, I always love writing the top 10 stories from the years, and the same story, in the last 23 and 24, which is again beginning to happen again in 25 with Burrow, with Neighbors, just with so many. It's literally, and I know, so it's again not a new story, and it's not one we have to speak to along, but it's just like, maybe they will, get rid of carpet. Maybe they will just, I mean, it's like, it's unbelievable that this multi-billion dollar, corporation and industry, can't do something that is simple as that, just.
I mean, Tyreek Hill might be out for the year. He's on grass.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hurt tonight.
Oh yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
because remember, the athletes are getting stronger and whatever, and you just move differently. But there's still that part that it just, you don't need to be playing on, that type of.
So I think since 2020, there's been like, I want to say like 10 to 15 different ACL or Achilles injuries on MetLife turf.
Yeah, it's something special there.
It's insane. And like I told you guys last night, they're planning to play the World Cup final at MetLife Stadium next year.
Oh,
They're going to either bring in grass or do something clearly, because soccer players can't play on that, and NFL players shouldn't be either. Like it's.
I agree.
Wow. It's as
I fully agree with you. I think the turf is.
Yeah.
That's part of it, definitely.
Yeah.
And
I
I
just
mean,
got-
you can go and you can bring in grass on an indoor stadium. I mean, they do it in Arizona
Yeah,
every week. You know, they just roll it in. Las Vegas, I think they
Yeah.
have real grass.
they do
Roll it
Yeah,
in.
Arizona,
in
absolutely.
a desert, and two teams in a
Yes.
desert.
Yeah, have grass.
Yeah.
So
I just,
yeah,
I
I would like to see grass in Atlanta. I mean, like, just roll it in. Let's go.
Yeah. I just
The,
seen Adam Schefter tweet about Tyreek. They think he dislocated his knee.
Mm,
Ooh,
That's not good. And an ambulance on the way to the hospital to confirm. So
ouch.
dang, man, I tell you, it's
oh yeah, someone just sent me a picture. That's not good.
Yeah, I saw the video.
don't want to. Yeah.
The
It's
knee
not good.
inverted.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
it's not supposed to go that way.
yeah.
yeah. Oh.
So
So what's next?
do you guys want to talk? So how are you guys feeling about the Heroes and the BKF?
Uh,
Well, I think well, like you said, Austin, aside from our coaching decisions, um, I don't feel as bad as a 1-3 record. Although honestly, as I looked to, when Samantha and I went over I wouldn't really have changed it. So I didn't feel as bad as just watching. I was kind of happy, and this is a total paradigm. Let me know how you guys feel about this, and everybody else, and all of our multitude of watchers of out there of fantasy football coaches. But I used to have, my thought was, when my person that I benched, I would always pull for them to just zero out, just bomb and everything like that. And then just literally this year, I was reading one of my sites. It's like, you shouldn't think of it that way. You want, even though they're on your bench, and hopefully for a good reason, you want them to do good. Just because you don't want to have a terrible thing, or even in a tough matchup, which honestly, going against Micah in this WWE kind of matchup that we had last night, I would have really, thought that after seeing the Chicago game, when I was watching the Bears literally manhandle the Cowboys without CD, I just figured it would have been they would have stopped the fight in second round. And kudos to the Cowboys. And thankfully, like I said, Dak looked like the quarterback that, we hoped that he would be. And Pickens looked like the wide receiver, like he looked like CD incarnate. So I was happy about that, and sad, obviously, that all we had to do was play one of them, we would have won. But it's one of those things where, it's just tough to recover from 1-3, because all of us, I think we all know, it's still a race to 7. And that just means that you have not a lot of games to get to 7. So
yeah, I hear you. I think like I've said many times on this podcast and in other places, 0-4, I think you can recover from. 0-5 is a little too tough, but it's still early. So, and I think you unfortunately, with Neighbors out, but I think you still have a lot of good options. And you'll get Rashee Rice back.
Yeah. We just, what the other part is, honestly, I mean, this showed from the top 5 voting. I mean, it was this close, but it was also, I mean, looking at the top 12, i.e. everybody, we all got votes, I think Matt said. And the 5 was 6. I mean, it's a battle. There are no cakewalks. I mean,
there's no easy weeks in this league.
There are no easy weeks, and this more than ever. I mean, it's ironic. Like I said, we would have won this week, probably beating 8 of the other 10 teams, but we didn't. And it's just one of those still where you just have to. You're playing schedule roulette, and so you just have to. You have to put them up, and just it's one of those things that it's so. Yeah, I don't know, Matt. What's your take? I know.
Well, I mean, the last 2 weeks, I've had 63 scored against me and 54. So, I mean, that was
The
it's tough
roulette.
to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah.
You know, I have three quarterbacks right now, and I always say if you have three, you have none. You know,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
feel a little bit better about Penix just after yesterday.
Oh, sure.
Um,
Yeah.
you know, I really need Brock Bowers to step up. I was thinking about that on the way home today. I was like, I should have just let Steven pick him and just kind of let it go. But hindsight's 2020 on that. I'm happy with Bijan. I mean, he's been a stud first round pick for me, but
Oh, yeah.
getting Worthy back, I mean, he was on my bench. I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference. I would have lost anyway. But getting him back, it was nice to see DK Metcalf kind of score that long touchdown yesterday. I'm gonna have to make some tweaks. I've come back. I think my first championship, I think we were like 2-5. I remember my dad, my brother, and myself getting into it at the dinner table. My mom's like crying about it, like we're getting into it. I mean, Austin, you probably know too,
That's
like,
funny. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like, it's possible to come back, but your margin for error, like you said, Christopher, it's a lot thinner.
Yeah.
Especially in this league. I was kind of looking at it. I mean, Wayne and Rick are kind of running away with the Georgia side right now, but there's a lot of us like, Dan, the Thundercats are 2-2. Everybody else is kind of 1-3. So, I mean, there's a chance, with it, but we got to start. I got to start stringing some wins together. That's for sure. It'd be nice to kind of get back. My goal right now is like, all right, the next 2 weeks, let's get back to 500, or next few weeks, and then we'll just kind of go from there. I always say try to get back to 500.
Yeah.
Maybe try to be like 5-5 with 3 weeks to go, and kind of see where everything falls from there.
I think you don't have a Bowers problem. I think you have a Geno Smith problem. Geno has been really bad.
Yes, I agree. We'll see. We'll just kind of see, where it goes from there, and hopefully the scheduling guys will help me out the next few weeks to kind of, hey, we punished you these last 2 weeks.
Right.
We'll give you some games against teams that are scoring 20 points.
There you go.
So we'll see.
Well, I play you in week 6, so hopefully not that week for me.
Well, I got Robinson going against Buffalo that night, so that'll be a Monday night game right there.
Oh, there you go. Great. Oh, that's the worst feeling in the world is your opponent has Monday night players.
I know.
Especially Bijan Robinson.
And probably
tough.
Penix I'll probably start Penix against Buffalo too. So
Great.
I'm anticipating like a 38-35 game right there,
Yeah.
Might happen.
Hey, I mean, like I said before we started, maybe the Falcons figured something out. Maybe going on the sidelines, having some better communication for your offensive coordinator.
Well, I saw Zach Robinson was the leading candidate for Oklahoma State, and after week 3, I was like, I'll bring some moving boxes over to his house. I mean, like, we'll make that happen. I'll rent the U-Haul to drive to Stillwater, but so we'll see. I always say,
there you go.
1-3, it's a tough hole, but you can dig out of it. I know John and Kelly last year.
Yeah.
They were in a pretty big hole, and I told them, I was like, they're gonna win. They're gonna make it.
You just got to get to 7 wins, and hopefully can get get everybody
and get hot in the playoffs.
So.
That's all you got to do.
I'm hoping that there's some serendipity in this world because last year when we lost Rashee Rice, in week 4, which was eerily just like losing neighbors, but now having Rashee Rice, that when he comes back, that he will be able to come back and be able to take kind of that place and be able to give us a run. So
hopefully Mahomes will give him about 12, 15 targets a game, and then give Worthy about 12 to 15 targets. I'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, and the good news is they'll be fighting to get up to Buffalo if Buffalo loses. At this point, they've just got this could be the the year for Buffalo, and I think they need it to be. I think it was weird. I was speaking to that same friend. We were there for a couple nights, and I was expecting like just talk football and everything, and literally they are just like Detroit was last year, where they're just like, it's got to be our year this year. I mean, there was so much pressure, and you could
Mhm.
see it a little bit, obviously. I think even the players, I mean, New Orleans and that kind of thing. It's like, so they know that if they can just get home field advantage, especially in, in Highmark there, where, they'll be closing down the stadium. They'll have so much, just juju there. It's just literally, I mean, it should be Buffalo's playing who,
Yeah.
and it's,
I'll tell you,
again,
they're not going to want to play Kansas City in the AFC Championship game. I mean, that's just
they won't,
like,
but I tell you, and I totally agree. But, at this point, if you get James cooking like he is cooking, and I mean, again, it depends on health.
Yeah.
And seeing what the defenses can ultimately do up. So, hey, Andy Reid, I'm not going to put anything against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So
You know what I think?
that's
I think the Bills really need a player like AJ Brown. I think that would be that
I
would be
did tell you that,
phenomenal
Austin.
to
You
put
look
them
good
over
in
the
Buffalo.
top.
you're throwing it out to the universe there, Austin. I love it.
I mean, AJ Brown, like someone reminded me of the Instagram post he made after they won the Super Bowl, where he was like, "Yeah, I won the Super Bowl, and it wasn't as much as it wasn't as good as I thought it would be." He was like, I realized that I care more about like he said. I think he said I realized I cared more about dominating and like owning a cornerback and knowing that you like had him in your back pocket and like all this kind of stuff. And it's like that's very much a guy that drives on being the guy.
Mhm.
And if the
Yeah.
Eagles aren't going to be able to do that, that situation is going to get more and more toxic, and it's going to burn more and more zeros into my
Yeah.
fantasy team.
Yeah.
I mean, the outside of the last week, um, where he had 6 catches and 109 yards, he has like 7 catches for 45 yards over the other 3 games.
Wow.
So he's hurting me bad right now, and yet the Eagles are
You're
4-0.
still-
So,
You're
and I'm
still
3-1.
Yeah,
So,
Right.
just win,
Right.
baby. That's all you got to say.
right.
yeah,
And they don't, yeah, exactly. They don't ask you how, they ask you how many. So
yep,
just do that. Yeah, get that and keep, keep healthy. That's the main
Well,
thing.
remember,
So
Austin, if you're hoisting the trophy at the draft next year, and AJ Brown only had 35 catches for you, who cares at that point?
yeah, that's true.
there you go. There you go. So I got two things.
Okay.
So I wanted to do a quick small reveal of the Brick Hat and Brief that's going to be going out in just probably a day. I just wanted to kind of show a little bit, especially to our reader or watchers here, so that they can get
Yeah.
a little bit, and then also you guys. And then I want to go over in some depth the 35th anniversary team for the BFFL, because you guys both, I sent to you individually, the scoring, and you guys
Mhm.
both gave me numbers. So I ended up taking an average of the three of us and just said, hey, this is what it's supposed to be. And the things came out very cool. So, I mean, it's the legends of the BFFL. So
Yeah.
not sure it could be any more exciting, but the commentary for each of the positions, I think, are pretty cool. So can I get the screen,
Yeah.
Matt? And I'll just show
Yes. Oh, 1 second.
okay.
They just changed up teams on me, so I'm like having to figure it out. But I think I got it. All right. You should be good to go.
Able to share? Okay. Whoa, yeah, this is definitely some different. I'll just go with entire screen. Share. Let's see. Oh, this is weird. Oh, here we go. Share. All right.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, no. Oh, there you go.
All right, there we go. So this is our cover page here of the 2025 Brick Hat and Brief here. Wanted to focus just because of the wonderful ending that we had. Congratulations, Matt,
Yeah.
on winning the Jackie. It was one of those moments that, wow, when you won it, it was just super special. So
You know, we had Jackie's dad over for lunch Friday, and he didn't know I'd won it yet, and so
Yeah.
he was able to hold it, and that was a touching moment for me, for her dad.
Oh my gosh.
to,
Yeah.
to be able to hold that.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, that's always a fun thing. I think for sure, Austin, when I do this again in 2 years, we're gonna have the top five. I mean, the number one ranking and the Brick Hat Bowl champion. We'll have that correspondence for. I think we're probably up to like 20. I don't know, maybe 28 or 29 years, if not more, of doing the top five. So that's gonna be a long list. But our cover
Yeah.
story, obviously, our BFFL League getting the action on the ABC Action News story, which was really cool to do, which is really neat. And then just the creation of the legacy totem for every year. So that's kind of our secondary cover story. And then some really cool, as we just, I think we go through, again, it's just every kind of other page. One goes from the Super Weekend 23, next one's the 24, and it goes throughout with just some wonderful moments as we get there throughout.
It's a
and the
funny
like.
picture of
So,
Jimmy.
yeah. It's funny because it's Jimmy picking, of course, just a tight end, so
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
it's if it's in the first 3 rounds, it's Jimmy picking a tight end,
Yeah.
so just some wonderful things we had and everything. So
The band at Wayne's World, that was so good.
Yeah.
yes, the band up there which played was a classic. Certainly always the water. Here's the band right there.
Yeah.
Pretty cool from the upper limits and such like that. The JJ Watt here being signed, which is really cool.
Mhm.
So the details of the totem, then the fun at the thing. So thank you, Austin, for your input on the kids league there.
Yeah.
So getting that was really good. Identifying the Fantasy Champions League with you and Wayne making that, which was big. And of course our Hall of Fame, which was always still just kind of legendary. So AP and
Oh,
Tom Brady
I
making
need
it
to do
there.
the scoring for the Fantasy Champions League. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Well, Zan is doing that for
Zan's doing it?
us.
Okay.
Yep, Zan's doing it. We might want to check sometime later,
Yeah.
but he is
I
doing
just
it.
like to do it for fun, but
Yeah, I would be curious too. So this is a
Yeah.
little,
I love
little
the
fan
Bucks
of the
fan of the
year, and then we get just some more stuff. So that's just a little bit. That's coming out. I'm going to be sending out probably tomorrow or Wednesday via the Google Drive, so everybody will have that opportunity to do that. So that will be coming through. Now this was really cool. So for those of you hopefully can see this out there, obviously, Matt and Austin, you know what the categories were, but this was not done by voting or anything like that. This was pure statistics. And these were just the statistics that we've kind of tracked. And this was like the top 5 scoring anytime that you are in the top 5. Doesn't matter whether it's Georgia, Florida, whatever, you're just in the top 5 for each year. Then your Pro Bowls, which is a little bit more, I think as one of you guys said, a little bit more varied based upon the people who are voting. And sometimes you're just put in a very bad, league or I should say a good league where you might be the 3rd overall running back, but 1 and 2 go to the Pro Bowl and you're still 3 out of 5 and you're sitting home where you'd be notified in the top 5.
There's also scenarios too where Pro Bowl players were getting benched because their teams were in the playoffs in week 18. So
Well, this is strictly Pro Bowl based on voting. This is not the
Okay,
Pro
okay.
Bowl.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
this is strictly just the votes. Yeah.
Well, and
And-
also it's future commish. Trust me, like sometimes you get a ballot in and you're like,
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
So like, trust me. Like
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I
Christopher
know.
knows too. It's PTSD for him right here,
Yeah,
man.
I so bad sometimes just wanted it, but I couldn't, just had to let it go. But then we have again MVPs, the number 1 scorer, and then Brick Hat Bowl wins, and then Brick Hat Bowl MVPs. So the total number of points you can see. MVPs got 8, number 1 scorer was 7, top 5s was 4, Pro Bowls were 2, Brick Hat Bowl MVPs were 2, and Brick Hat Bowl wins were 1. And so basically, for instance, it would just be very simple. You did Jim Kelly 3 top 5s at times 4, it's 12 points. And so we did that and basically came to total them up here, which is where these points come out. Here's the positional rank. Here's the overall rank. This is where you have your starter, your backups, your honorable mentions. So to try to get this on, so it's kind of a screen that everybody could see. These folks that are already kind of in the highlighting, these are Hall of Famers. And so I just built off the Hall of Famers based upon having a certain criteria for the folks that are not yet in the Hall of Famers that still have a penchant for putting up numbers such as Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Aaron Rodgers. And the first one. So Aaron Rodgers was the number 1 quarterback. And I would be probably have nice to see with the overall points, but he ended up having 99 total points.
Wow.
With 97 coming in a close second was Tom Brady. So, and then you see Drew Brees 3, Peyton Manning 4, Steve Young 5. So
that's really fascinating to me. I wonder if that's. I mean, I know Tom Brady he was never like as big a fantasy superstar, I think, as I mean, obviously he was huge, but
right.
There were a lot of years where you were taking Rodgers before him.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think you just look at the longevity. So that's Brady gets the longevity of top 5. He ends up having 12 top 5s. Now again, he had 21 years that he was playing. So that's what I think ended up getting him. And Aaron Rodgers just, I mean, obviously Matt knows so well. I mean, was just so money. And
Yeah.
I mean, he is also the all-time leader in MVPs. He's the only one that's ever won it 3 times. And I think that was the big thing that won it down here for him. So
Yeah.
But Peyton Manning, I mean, look at Peyton Manning. He was a fantasy football, just God, if you want to put it that way. But Peyton Manning surprisingly was behind Drew Brees, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah. I mean, how would you like to be number 4, Peyton Manning, on that quarterback list? Like,
Yeah.
shows you the depth. I mean, there is one old timer on there, Steve Young. He was so good when he was healthy.
Yes.
I guess kind of a surprise for me would be, I guess Favre, just because he played for so long.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that's not getting a top 5, but I mean, you can't go wrong with that top 5 list. I mean, you can't really. Who would you take out?
Oh, it's I mean, and they all won. It's funny because they all won MVPs, so they were all at one time and incredible MVPs and such like that. So that was an amazing thing.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, out of all those 5, and I know it's kind of a quirky for us because it's not the same thing, but if you look at Tom Brady, the only one not to win a
Brick
Hat Bowl.
Wow.
Isn't that
Which is
crazy? 7
It's
Super
crazy.
Bowls, but no Brick Hat Bowl. I mean, you have them on your team, and you'd be in the playoffs if you're in the NFL. But so
should we tell him that? It might piss him off. He might come back. See
One
him
of those
playing quarterback
things.
for the Raiders.
I saw him leaving the game yesterday.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he was the announcer. Yeah. So, but
That's
so I thought that was so Aaron Rodgers, certainly you could think that's a pretty easiest lock of that. But overall, and like I said, so overall he was 2, Brady is 3, and Breeze is 4. So I'll just throw this out to you since you guys are not privy to it. Where do you think number 1 is before we go any further?
I wanted to guess this. I have a guess.
Okay.
All right.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
LaDainian Tomlinson. Okay.
I think he is, of the last 25, 30 years, the most. He had like 2 or 3 or 4 seasons where he was just by far the best fantasy football player. So that's my guess.
Okay.
Okay. Let me. That's a good guess. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go Randy Moss just because
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know. I mean, he had some good
Okay.
years. He had that one
Yeah.
awesome year for sure for New England, but
Well,
Yeah.
I'll just say this on both of those. First, LT, and I know what you're talking about, Austin, but remember, especially because we're talking overall number one, remember this rewards
Longevity.
longevity. So
Yeah.
longevity and running
Okay.
backs, which you will see in just a minute, there are none there's Emmett. Okay, there's Emmett that's in the top 10. It's so
Okay.
hard, but Emmett was one of those. And then for wide receivers, it is running backs, especially in our league, were so prolific, even more than wide receivers. Because obviously, we've only had quarterbacks and running backs to ever win the MVP. We've never had a wide receiver or a tight
Mhm.
end. Um, so just wait for the answer because it's gonna blow your socks off. Not only who it was, but then you're gonna go, I know that guy.
can I throw one more guess out there?
Yeah, wait,
Sure.
I know who it is then, I think.
Tony Gonzalez.
Tony
Yeah,
Gonzalez. It
that's
is.
my guess. Yep.
I tell you, when the numbers aligned like that and we ended up voting that way,
Yeah.
I just think it was just serendipity. So at some point, guys, we have to figure out somehow Tony, I don't know, he's gonna have to somehow be something in the next, whether it's our 40th year or our 45th or our 50th. We got to get Tony something. So
Didn't we name him like the greatest brick hat player of all time at
he
some
Yeah,
point?
he was.
we
So
we,
that's what
we had like a voting.
Yeah.
we did when we did when we did the 30 year, we basically did
Yeah.
like a March Madness. So ended up being we ended up being he ended up being number one. He beat Peyton Manning in the final. Babe.
So
So he
so
ended up being yeah.
our statistics ended up proving that out.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what's crazy is that unbelievably it was crazy. So running backs, and so our starting running backs, if you're going to have a fantasy football team, Emmitt Smith and Adrian Peterson,
well, that's
wow,
not bad.
It's pretty good.
that is not bad. Now here, to your point, I think really Austin is. I mean, you look at LaDainian Tomlinson, no doubt, especially impact, and he still had a longevity. I mean, you look at 7
Yeah.
top tens. I mean, so that's not like it's. I mean, Emmett had like 8, and then AP had 8, ironically. But you look at like Priest Holmes. I mean, he was somebody, but again, Priest Holmes,
Two
he has
MVPs.
yeah,
Yeah,
back-to-back MVPs. He was a legend at the time. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to think and then you look at Terrell, did the same thing. He was just
Yeah.
as good
he
as it
was so
gets. And
good for a
then
couple years.
He made the NFL Hall of Fame because of
Yeah.
that. He didn't have a
yeah,
particularly long career, but
right,
You,
right.
I'm surprised not top 5. Marshall Faulk on that list.
it's a
Oh
good
yeah.
point.
Like that surprises me.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Let's see. Marshall, let's see. He's the one right below Emmett there.
He was only
So
the number one scorer once.
yeah,
yeah,
he was just behind like Priest and Terrell, yeah.
hmm.
At 51, he had 46,
Yeah.
and Terrell was 49. So he would be the next man up, but yeah. So,
Sean
but
Alex,
again,
Arian Foster on there is crazy too.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, remember,
Yeah.
he had his time, man. He
Yeah.
wasn't an MVP, but he just had a time where
Well,
he was pretty amazing. So
and you look at the top 2 running backs, they probably on this list had the longevity.
Yeah.
Emmett
yeah, yeah,
and Adrian Peterson between the two.
yeah. Yeah, no doubt. It's impressive. So, I mean, they were, and when you look at it, I mean, it's interesting. You look at like there was 3. I had Josh, Patrick, and Adrian. There's really only like, I mean, right now it's like Derrick Henry that's
I
out
was
there that
just
has.
yeah. I was just gonna say, I think that this might be our list forever because I don't know if we're ever gonna get
Yeah,
another running back that plays really well for 15 years in the NFL. You
Yeah.
know?
right,
I
right. They
agree.
can play and have that impact. So, yeah. So again, a pretty impressive Emmett. Like I said, the only top tenor as a running back, and he is number 5. Now look, here we are for wide receivers. Take a look at this. They're none.
Wow.
None.
Wow.
And that's just, I mean, you get, and I think this has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
MVPs. Now, in reality, Tyreek should certainly have one of those. You know, that was that wonderful, like, voting that we talked about. And honestly, somebody that's not quite here yet, and unfortunately, just because of his injuries, and he should have won an MVP as well, Cooper Kupp. We
Yeah.
should have had 2 wide receivers really who, in my mind, were MVPs and the like. So, but if you look at this, so you look at, again, Starvin Marvin and, Jerry Rice. I mean, that Jerry wasn't number 1 was, pretty amazing. But if you look at the numbers, 5 and 7, I mean, Marvin's got it, 5 and 6, Marvin's got that. Top scorers, they were both, 3, which is
Wow.
the most. They both had 2 Brickhat Bowls. So they were very close, neck and neck, but Marvin just had a little bit more.
Interesting.
So,
My
Yeah.
big surprise there is Calvin Johnson, not top 5.
Calvin, yeah,
He didn't have the longevity either. He
I know,
retired
right.
early.
he was the Barry Sanders, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he had 2 Brickhat Bowl wins, but like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
I heard a friend told me this today, probably to reassure me, but at this point in both their careers, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Senior have like the exact same stats through this amount of games.
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, that's
He
a
may
little
he may have
reassuring.
turned his season around last
That's
week.
with that touchdown catch I've never
Thursday.
seen a player like he looked like he was about to cry from relief.
That's I think the
Yes.
way the world was off of him.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Especially after that bobbling interception one. He was on the brink of,
Yeah.
like, the yips, like, but no, he recovered. So that was very impressive. So,
But yeah, I mean, interesting. Also, this is one of the only categories other than Aaron Rodgers, I guess, that we have someone still playing today that
right.
is a top 3 player who
Mhm.
unfortunately just got injured. But
Right. Yeah. But I think, when you look at it, I mean, there's these guys will obviously, be Hall of Famers, and it's just a matter of, who's going to be the folks after us, and, and just being now a throwing league and stuff like that. It's just,
yeah,
I mean, I tell you right now, and I had to play against him this week. It's just, Puka is
Yeah.
like, wow. I mean, you saw the stat of, 42 receptions, it's tied, Michael Thomas and Cooper Kupp's record for, most through 4 games. It's amazing. I mean, he could be up here. So
he's on pace for like 2,200 receiving yards or something.
Yeah, it's something insane.
Yeah, it'll be, and hopefully anybody who's watching this, because I know the audience of 3 here know it, but hopefully I don't know, if you want to call it just whatever the word is, against, wide receivers that are not having, a running back or quarterback. I mean, yeah, those are the glamour, but let's just give the wide receivers, if they earn it, and I'm sure, let's just give them their due when their time comes.
Yeah.
That's just, it's not quite right. So, and then the tight ends, again, they're definitely relevant in the BFFL. But the great part about this is, look at this. I mean, and here's Tony. I mean,
12 top 5s.
12.
12. I mean, you got to be, and
Wow.
this is not like all of a sudden we're giving, oh yeah, you give points, extra points, premium scoring for tight end. No, this is just amongst his peers. I
Yeah.
mean, 12 top 5s. I mean, that's like being relevant, but the only person you could even think of that's done something like that is like Kelsey, right? Because,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's still only 2/3 of the way there. That's just, it's unbelievable. And then, the Pro Bowls and such like that. I mean, again, the number 1 scores, ironically, Antonio Gates was just as big of a monster,
Yeah.
actually having 1 more. I mean, Gates was just unbelievable, and just like Kelsey is. So, I mean, that 1, 2, and 3 there is just.
There's a big stat that you're about to hit
Oh, go ahead.
that I completely forgot. 5 Brickhat Bowl wins.
Yes, yes, there you go. So right
Yeah.
there. And that was really, I mean, that's hard to even fathom. I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at that, and we look, and ironically, we only gave it 1 point, but still,
Right.
I mean, it's still that's crazy when Tom, I mean, again, what's it about? It's about winning, right? And
Yeah.
he had a way of winning. I
I
mean,
mean,
and you can look at here. I think I think the number is two, because I'm trying to think of the highest number of Brickhat Bowl wins of any other player that's
2.
in the Hall of Fame
it's two.
is two. I
Yeah.
mean, you got to be kidding me. So
Well, you're
this
talking
is,
about like in a, like the NFL creating an edge, like, because the talent gap is not that wide. It's like our league. I mean, a lot of us have been in this league forever. So when you draft somebody like Tony Gonzalez, it creates that edge
yeah,
because
yeah,
you got a guy who's a top 5 tight end
Yeah.
consistently. So
right.
there's your breakout bowl wins.
You knew, yeah, exactly. You knew they were going to be there. So that's pretty impressive. Now, the kicker position, I think when you look at that, you get some just those long time, studs. I mean, Jason Elam, and then
Yeah.
Steven Goskowski. I mean, that was like 1 and 2. I was thinking it was going to be Jason, and Goskowski was right there, and ultimately ended up being just an edge more. He had 5 number one
Wow.
scores. I mean, 5 times. That's pretty impressive for, let's throw the dart at the end of the draft and pick a kicker. But like Mr. Aubrey, again, congrats, Matt. I mean, he's such a weapon that he's going to be in here, just like,
Mhm.
Tucker will be in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. And hey, Will Lutz is kicking tonight, and I mean, he's probably not that far off from potentially making one of these lists.
Mhm.
So, a couple
I like
breakout
it.
Bulls. Now, this is interesting because we've never voted, obviously, on a special team defense for the Hall of Fame. So this is not a Hall of Fame. So I basically just said, hey, let's just look at, I mean, this is something was new that I hadn't done. So this was just looking throughout the years, and this is just some stats I just had to dig into, but looking at the top fives. So
The
the
Ravens.
only thing to rival, yeah, Tony Gonzalez's 12, or I think it was up here. I think it was, yeah. So Tom Brady also had 12, but the leader in the clubhouse, the Baltimore Ravens, and they overall sixth. I mean, that's pretty impressive when again,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
6 Pro
def-
Bowls and
and defenses are so shaky year to year, and
Yeah.
you get the
yes.
Ravens. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
that's
I mean, like some of those, like the Bears had Devin Hester, which definitely helped. Um,
yes, yes.
the Chiefs had Dante Hall. Some of those are kind of, I think, buoyed by big punt returners and kick
Mhm.
returners in a few years. But
Yeah.
the Ravens, yeah, that's
Yeah. That's because they almost always just did it with defense. I mean, you didn't hear a lot in the returners there, but you also look at Pittsburgh and the Patriots. I mean, that's Bill Belichick, and that's, like
Hmm.
yeah,
Mike Tomlin, and just, I mean,
Bill
that's
Cowher.
and Cowher. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's incredibly impressive. I mean, getting a team that is going to be great. And oh, I don't know, unless you get 7 players taken out, out of their starting 11. So, which again, oh, but so Baltimore, they make the top 10, but so looking at the starting team, you've got Ravens, Goskowski, Tony Gonzalez, Jerry Rice, Marvin Harrison, AP, Emmett Smith, and Aaron Rodgers. So
Ooh.
quite a
It's a pretty
quite
good
a
team.
quite a
Yeah.
pretty impressive 35th anniversary team. So I'm gonna try to do a write up and post it, and then I'll send this out just and the like. But and again, congratulations to Tony Gonzalez. Tony, I don't know what if you're listening, Tony, we'd like to have you on.
Yeah, that
Um,
would be
I,
nice.
I would just say that, and I know it's kind of neat because he's a former, Falcon and of course Chief. So we've got love for the Chiefs and love for the Falcons. So if some way, shape, or form we could get Tony Gonzalez
Yeah.
somewhere we need that, that's got to
And
be a that's got to be a goal for us to get our best player. So maybe I'll put something together, as Bobby has said, and we'll send something to him some way, shape, or form, and maybe we'll be able to get something and get the maybe it'll be the Tony Gonzalez, like Hall of Fame award or something. I'm not sure. So
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
a team
so
right there.
that is a
Sure.
team. So all right. Well, that was that. I just, we had to do something special, especially
Yeah.
for the 35th year, and just trying to figure out what it was. And I'm glad we came up with some, scoring tabulations, and then, thankfully we've been pretty diligent at keeping the records. So this is pretty cool.
I think what's pretty cool about that too is I don't know when a lot of those players will get replaced, if ever. Like I said with running backs, like I don't know if we'll ever have some kind of running back that dominates the league for extended periods, like
Yeah.
we said. Maybe someone like a Mahomes or Josh Allen, but Josh Allen's pretty far into his career. He's got zero BFFL MVPs, which is stunning to me.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'll be something that we could revisit in 15 years for the 50th anniversary and be like,
Right.
are there any
right.
changes?
Yeah. I don't think tight end. I don't think you can break Tony
that'll
Gonzalez.
probably never change. That's
I mean,
Yeah.
I think receiver, just because, it's such a passing league now.
yeah.
I could see someone like, Jamar Chase, but I think it depends on Joe Burrow's health with him too.
Yeah.
Um,
I know.
they're same thing with Justin Jefferson. He's having Carson Wentz throw to him right now. It's like he
Yeah.
would look good. He would look good in a Bills uniform too, Justin Jefferson. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to help Josh Allen. I want him to win the Super Bowl. I would love to see him win one.
Yeah, yeah. I think just honestly, the people of Buffalo. Honestly, it's they're great people. We know a few certainly, and just they're just great people. And for me, I just love. I want to see everybody. And this is not a participation trophy thing or anything like that, but just everybody should be able to have that taste of being a champion. And Detroit certainly, Buffalo, Cleveland, whatever. Those fans. I tell you. And this might be hearsay what I'm saying, and I'm sorry if it comes out there, especially from a fan of the year, but here we are against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Austin was there. It was 60-40 Eagle fans to Buck fans. Come on. So let's talk, like real fans. Again, Browns, Bills, Lions, they would never allow that in their place, and so I just want for those fans, I want them to enjoy that so.
I think there's a lot of factors, unfortunately. I think the biggest one is
like what?
The biggest one is that so many people. Okay, I talked to a few Phillies fans
from Philadelphia, New York, blah blah blah.
I talked to a few Philly fans. I was like, "Oh, hey, like, do you live here?" Like, they're like, "Oh yeah, I live in Orlando. I live in Sarasota. I live in blah blah blah. I live in blah blah blah." Like we don't have the best traveling fans in the league, Philly. We have the best. We moved somewhere else whenever, and we moved to Florida because it's a nice place to live. And so there is another factor, which is that people will buy the tickets for a lot of money, and Bucks fans will sell the tickets for a lot of money, which is lame.
That's if we were already sold out at 65,000, like Lambeau Field, Cleveland. That's just the whole point. Lambeau people are like, no, I'm not going to let you buy my ticket, whatever. And like, no, I'll offer you 2,000. No, sorry, dude. That's the difference. So yes, that's my whole point. If you're going to just let other fans buy it and you're not going to go to the game, lame fan. Now I could say fan of the year. I've gone to games for 50 years. So, but I'm saying, there's like 200 of us, and I'm not calling people who don't go to every game for 50 years lame, but I'm just saying that in the genre, I want to see the people that are in this top 5, top 10. I want to see them win it. I really do. And it's it's special. I mean, it's special. And Matt, when the Falcons win it, it's gonna be awesome. It is gonna be
Oh,
awesome to no end. And you
yeah.
will.
We'll shut down the city for a week. I mean, I mean, I might burn some 28-3 stuff, like just
Yeah.
saying. I mean, um,
There you go.
I mean, in Atlanta, I mean, back to you, Austin, we have that same problem here in Atlanta. I mean, like, I guarantee week week 6, Buffalo, it'll be
Yeah.
70-30, but Bills fans. I mean, and I know Steeler fans travel well too.
Ooh,
Nicole's a big Steelers fan, and I've taken her
big
a
time.
couple games down there, and
Yeah.
like, I'm the oddball. They're like, I get yelled at. They're like, we know who has the brains in the family, like,
Yeah, there was 30% of the stadium for the Jets game was Jets fans. There were a ton of Jets fans here. And again, that part of that is that they moved. They have a bad team, but they're good fans, and they moved down
Right.
to the South, and they retained their, which I fully agree with. In all honesty, I think if you move to another city, you retain the rights to your hometown team if you've been a fan of them for a long time.
if you
Now,
live there
if-
for a long time.
Now, if you
Totally.
if you move from, let's say, Buffalo and you move to Tampa, and then you go to a Tampa Philly game, you got to wear a
Yes.
Bucks jersey or a Bucks shirt or
Absolutely.
something.
Yeah,
Like, you got to support the
absolutely.
hometown
Yep.
team. But
Yep.
if your home team's in town, yeah. But yeah, they're I don't know what it is about Tampa that and Atlanta that it's like the loyalty of the hometown fans.
Well, you don't hear people retiring up to the north. You hear people like
Yeah.
they move here. They move to Tampa.
And
But
mean,
like
the
I said,
weather-
that's
I mean,
that's
the
half the
weather's so much
issue. I
better.
think that's only half the
I
issue.
was up in Cape Cod this past week, and I was like, man, it's so nice up here. Like, it's low 70s, 50s at night. It felt nice. I was talking to the owner of the Airbnb that we rented out, and she was like, come back in about 3 months, see how you like it then. And I was like, yeah. So I understand why people move to Tampa, move to Atlanta. Just
Right.
the weather's better year round.
Right.
And
I
so-
was joking as I was leaving the stadium and of course just trying to be a good person and not say anything, but I was like, you guys have to go back to Philadelphia. We get to stay here in Tampa,
Yeah.
So it's like, who really won? That kind of
Yeah.
thing. We jokingly said, but yeah. But I mean, you live. I mean, I'll never forget, we've been several times back to Kansas City, and I mean, it's like it's I don't know, March or May or what, it doesn't matter. Everybody's wearing Chief stuff. And it's
Mhm.
like, it's not like, it's like, oh, nope, it's the fall season, it's football season. It's just, that's what they live for. And
Yeah.
it's those kind of cities that are pretty amazing. So the fans are great, that kind of thing. And it's just, so we'll see.
Sorry, I just that Garrett Wilson touchdown lost me my game against one of my friends in a different fantasy league. But
Mm.
I know you guys don't want to hear about that, but
Uh,
that was unfortunate.
Well, you want to shift to talk a little Vandy?
Yeah, we could
College, yeah.
we could talk
There
a
you
little Vandy for a minute.
And don't forget the Yellow Jackets.
yeah.
We're not.
And
we're,
Georgia Tech.
we're just-
I was gonna say I want to hear about Georgia Tech too, because I didn't see a lot of what happened in that game, but impressive to come back from 17 down and come back
Yeah.
and win.
Yeah.
But
Second
yeah.
Vandy
largest
looks
comeback in team history.
Vandy looks good. Vandy's offense,
Vandy looks really good.
they've scored 50 plus points in 2 weeks. And I'm hearing a lot of 1930s talk, because everything so far this season is like, Vandy hasn't done this since 1930.
Mhm.
We haven't scored 50 points 2 weeks in a row since 1930. We haven't, this is the first game between a ranked Vandy and a ranked Alabama since
Wow.
1930.
Really?
This is the first, like,
Oh my gosh.
a bunch of different things, but I'm very excited. I was thinking game day might have been in Nashville next or in 2 weeks for the LSU game, but LSU lost, and I think the main thing was FSU lost on Friday. Otherwise, they would have been in Tallahassee for the FSU Miami game, which is a big game this weekend. But man, I mean, Diego Pavia, he's a stud. Eli Stowers, our tight end, he's going to be Eli Stowers next year's Brock Bowers, just calling it right now. And Wayne, of course, used
Got
his
Oh,
college
man.
player watch on it. But Yeah, I feel good. I feel good about the team, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm looking at the schedule, and I hate to sound cocky, but it's like I think we can win every single one of these games. I don't think we will win every single one of
Wow.
them,
Wow.
Wow.
but I think we
Okay.
can. I think that there's enough that we definitely can.
Well, I think you're
You guys
catching
play.
Bama at the right time.
Yeah.
They're on a high after beating Georgia, right? I
Yeah,
mean, and so they're like, oh, we're feeling good about ourselves. And here comes Vandy. You know,
I
just hang
I
around. Just let all you got to do is hang around.
I think that
And then,
there's two problems though, Matt. Number one, I think they're gonna want to avenge last year,
yeah,
and number two, it's in Tuscaloosa this time. So we'll
Hey.
see. We'll see. But I mean, like I said, I don't know. I feel really good about this team. I think that last year, like our ceiling was maybe 6 or 7 wins. This year, the ceiling feels like it's like we could realistically get to 9 wins, which would be incredible.
I tell you,
Well,
if y'all get to 10 wins, y'all are in the playoff. Y'all
Oh,
should
I
be
think that's
with
true.
the SEC schedule.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I'll be interested to see how well y'all play against Bama. If it's like, let's say you guys don't win, but if it's like, I don't know, 35-31 final, I mean, hey, Vandy's real.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're beating teams like you beat Georgia State 70-21. Like, I mean, that was, I
Well,
know it's Georgia State,
we beat
but
South Carolina 31-7.
yeah,
So
and South Carolina's legit,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah.
And so I think y'all have a really good shot. I really do. Um, I think it did y'all some good that Bama beat Georgia, which
Right. Right.
I didn't go to the game. People were selling their tickets for $1,000 for 2 tickets and the
Oof.
nosebleeds. I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, no thanks.
So plus Tara was kind of sick, so she just was like, we're just going to watch the game on the couch. So,
There you go.
but I think you're catching Bama actually at the right time. I really do.
Yeah.
And
I hope so. I'm very
and
excited.
And
college football right now is just so wide open to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that
what, 3 of the top
I don't
5?
think the
Something
NIL
like
has
that?
brought the ceiling down. I think it's brought the floor up. And so
Yeah.
what you're seeing is like, Mississippi
That's good.
State taking Tennessee to overtime, or like, Vanderbilt just beating the snot out of South Carolina. I think you're seeing just more parity
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. Notre Dame being 2-2, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, my one problem
And
with
still
college football
ranked.
still, I was just about to say is the polls. The polls are insane to me. That a team like Penn State, who's played
oh,
one Power Four conference team all year, they're 3-1. They lost that one game that they played to a
right.
Power Four conference team all year. And the one game that their Power Four conference opponent played was Penn State. Like Oregon and Penn State had played nobody and until they played each other. And so it's like both of them are still in the top 10 because that's where they were before the season started. And they didn't play anyone until this game. And this is the first real time that we can see, oh, what happens when they actually play someone. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, maybe they're both good, or maybe they're both like 20-21. We have no idea because this was basically the only real game that they've played so far this season.
Yeah.
Notre Dame,
And-
kind of the same kind of thing where I don't know how you can rank a 2-loss team 4 weeks into
Right.
the season.
Yeah.
But
Oh, because
or
they're
4
Notre
games
Dame.
into the season. But
That's the issue.
And Georgia Tech. I mean, like, hey, I mean,
Hey.
I told
Undefeated?
some people at my house this summer, I said, Georgia Tech's gonna make the playoff. That's my bold prediction.
Mm,
And
well,
they laughed at me, and I was like, look, they played one decent team. I thought one decent team at that time, Clemson.
yeah.
But sorry, Wayne. And
Yeah.
they beat them. I mean, I think they're so poised. I was impressed last year. I was in Athens for the
Oh my gosh.
Georgia Tech game. They should have won that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That was,
I think they've taken on their personality of Brent Key. I love him.
oh my
I
gosh.
think,
Well, and that's, I mean, again, going, and it's great that on this call we could have Vanity and Tech, and especially looking at the quarterbacks. I mean,
Yeah.
Fabio, but Haynes King, man, I tell
Yeah.
you, he's amazing. And he's not like a superstar amazing, I'm going to be drafted. He is like superstar amazing. Like, I'm going to take this team and put it on my back. And no matter how many times I get hit because I'm running it 12 times a game and but I mean, he's obviously the reason, we came back and it was it's exciting to see him. So just like, I mean, that's what we have. And it was, we were fortunate to get by Wake Forest. Hey, number one listener, JT, great game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think we should have won, probably the Demons Deacons, because again, talk about quarterbacks. Their quarterback, the Demons Deacons quarterback, he was lights out, man. That was just fun to watch. So we were very fortunate, and it's gonna be a fun ride. Bobby and I were texting during the game and such, so it's neat to be able to, being a Yellow Jacket, and it's been a few years since 1990, so not quite 1930, Austin, but it's been a long
Yeah.
time for us to be there. But it'll be nice to see how this all kind of works its way out. So, and hey, just as a thing, I think you talk about your NFL topics, our college football topics. How about being a kicker at with the field goal kicking $300,000? What are they giving
Oh
away,
yeah.
like three now? I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy. But hey, so
Yeah.
that just seems a whole heck of a lot of fun.
I think one more thing about the NIL is that I've seen so many people in posts talk about like anytime a big college football team loses a game like Florida or who else lost like LSU or something, I don't know, they'll be like, we need to hire Brent Key, we need to hire Clark Lee, like, call up these guys. And I'm like, I think a lot of people are like, why would if you're Clark Lee, why would you ever want to go to Florida right now? First of all, you're at
Right.
your alma mater. Second
Right.
of all, you're at a way like stronger program, at least as far as like stability, than going to somewhere like Florida. Florida doesn't have the same advantages of, like you said, about evening the playing field. Like it used to be that, you're going to like players want to go to Florida because it's Florida, and that's how you can attract better talent. And then now the ability to attract talent has shifted a bit. And so you can have schools like Georgia Tech and Vandy that can compete on the same level. And so the coaches are like, oh, I don't need to. Why would I go to Florida right now? That program is a disaster.
You bring up, Austin, a great point, because again, this is like one of those things that I just talking about all sports, and it galvanizes a lot of people. It's like, and it's happening now, especially with the NIL. I mean, who would have ever thought, obviously, in college, but can you imagine as a coach, and you've got two kinds of players? There's the player that's going to play for me, Coach Blank, or there's going to be the player that plays for Benjamin Franklin. And does he want his bennies, or does he want to play for me? And you're going to get those guys, or you're going to get the guys that are going to play for me. And I tell you, that's why all of a sudden, just because you're the team that has all the NIL money and it's going to get all the flashy players and whatever, and then you got this, ragtag team that's going to go through the wall in Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech, and a handful of others, and you're like, how is that happening? Well, because that still counts. And that's
Mhm.
certainly why Saban and other people just decided to
Yeah.
leave, because it's very tough to do that. But it's still college football, in Atlanta, in Vandy and stuff like that, which is really, really cool. And I think that's the
Well,
part where it's just you could still see it happening. These guys aren't being paid tons of dollars, but they're willing to run through a wall for their coach, for their school, and it's just unbelievably amazing.
I think it's like I look at Lane Kiffin, back to you, Austin. Like everybody, like some of my Florida friends are like, "Oh, he's going to go to Florida." I'm like, why would he leave
No.
Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Where okay, he gets 9 wins a year. They build statues for you out there in
Yeah.
Oxford. If you get 9 wins in Gainesville, they fire you.
Yeah.
All right. So like, I mean, they fired McElwain. He
Yeah.
had 9. I mean, I know he wasn't the greatest guy, but they fired Dan Mullen too. He had
Yeah.
9. He went to SEC championship game, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that program's a wreck right now.
That's it.
Oh, complete disaster.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Well, they should
I
get
mean,
rid of
Lane's
it.
got a good at
Get
Ole
rid of it.
Miss. I mean,
Yeah.
and he can still take
Yeah.
jab, and he still can jab with the best of people. I mean, he threw. I don't know if you saw his tweet about Brian Kelly after the game.
No.
He was like, Brian Kelly was bragging about how they're going to keep the Magnolia Trophy down at, it was like in the scouting report. And so he just like took a picture of the scouting report and tweeted it out. And then he said, I appreciate Ole Miss fans not storming the field. You know, we're not going to get fined $500,000, which would equal about half of a defensive back on that other team over there.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, ooh.
The only Lane Kiffin thing I saw was that Lane Kiffin's daughter like posted this week that she was dating the starting linebacker for
Yes.
LSU on game day week.
Yes.
And so people were like, "Oh, is this, backstabbing her dad? Like, announcing this on this week of all weeks?" And then his reply to it was like, I think he said bet the over was what he said.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know if the game went over. And also, I don't know if a coach can say that. Like that feels a little weird.
I don't think it went over.
It was 24-19. So I would imagine it didn't.
Yeah.
But even then, it was like, I think that, he took a picture with her. Lane took a picture with her like on the field pregame. She was seen rooting for Ole Miss during the game. Like it was a lot of hoopla over nothing. But I think Lane Kiffin is the kind of guy that thrives on media attention and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like, why would he go to Florida where it's just a headache, where he can be the king of Ole Miss?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I
exactly.
mean, he could win at Ole Miss. I mean, you get 10 wins. Like I say, 10 wins is kind of the standard to get the playoff. I mean, you can get 10 wins at Ole Miss, make the playoff.
That was honestly what I thought James Franklin was going to do at Vandy, but he wanted to go to a bigger school, and it's not worked out.
No.
He's 4-21 against top 10 teams at Penn
I
State.
saw that. Like, like the second worst score record or something.
And
But speaking of like rushing the field, I tell you, I'm sure some of you guys might have caught the end of that Florida State game. I tell you that Virginia, my hat's off to them, man. I tell you, they looked like they were gonna. I was surprised there weren't like 3 people taken to the hospital. I think 17 were injured total. But like, I was worried for like the wide receiver there, the Florida State guy, because I mean, you saw it in 1 second. It was,
His name's Squirrel too, which is like, I don't know if that's a nickname or what, but when people were talking about like Squirrel didn't get injured on that play, I'm like, there was a squirrel on the field, and then they're like, no, that was the wide receiver in the end zone. I was like, oh, but yeah, it was like the ball hadn't even hit the ground, like it had dropped out of his hands, and they were gone onto the field. The fastest field storming I've ever seen.
I mean, there could have been a penalty in the game. They would have had to call the game. It would have like pass interference, boom. Well, that was wild.
I don't know if you saw the Wake Forest Georgia Tech game. I think some of those kids were ready to storm the field. And,
they were.
Wake Forest.
They had a rope, and I was just like, not so fast, my friend.
Yeah.
Not so fast.
But I think you're just going to see a lot of those games. It's going to be almost impossible to go undefeated now in college football. I mean, it's just such a longer season. One loss, it's not going to devastate you like it used to. I mean, expanded playoff.
Yeah, especially with expanding conference schedules and making teams play more P4 opponents, which I think is a good thing. Like I think college football is at a bad place in a lot of areas, but at a really good place as far as like competitiveness in the on-field product.
Yeah, I like seeing last weekend all those great games. I'm like,
yeah. Well, we're at about an hour and a half, so I think we're about there. But I have to bring this up. So we've talked pretty much everything football. Got to bring. I don't know if you guys, obviously sports. I know you know at least of it, but the Ryder Cup. And obviously the one thing I had to bring up, which I didn't even know about this until Sunday, but obviously you're playing. You have 28 points. You're playing to get that 14. If you've got the cup and you're trying to defend it. And, it was a wide spread. The Europeans were way up there. And, USA made this like almost historic comeback. But there was a certain player, Victor Hovland, that couldn't play, couldn't play on Sunday. So he had to withdraw, could not play. The rule, you each get a half a point.
What?
What? Yeah. No, you can't play you lose. The other team
Yeah.
gets a point. Nope. And I'm like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't make it. And you're like needing like 3 points to like clinch. Well,
Yeah.
one half when you only need 3 is like you're almost there. I think that's like the most absurd thing. I almost lost everything for the Ryder Cup when I heard that.
There was the Ryder Cup disappointed me for a few reasons.
Unbelievable.
That was one of them, which is a rule that I had never heard of, but I think is one of the more idiotic rules I've ever heard for a major competition.
Top 5 maybe ever.
Yeah. Because what's to stop then all the Europeans going into Sunday just going, oh, we all got hurt celebrating last night. We can't play. Oh, we split all the points. Oh, we win the whole thing, I guess. Like that is absurd to me. But the other one too was I don't know if you guys saw any of the fans. Really disappointing in the American fans. Just like there was a beer that got thrown at Rory McIlroy's wife. There was like a ton of taunting and screaming, like mid backswing, like a lot of just like over the line kind of stuff. Where it's if you want to go to one of those events and be a fan, you gotta support the USA more than anti-Europe in that kind of scenario.
Has some class.
Yeah, like it's just complete over the line.
Yeah,
like disrespectful and like really unfortunate and kind of soured the whole like they made a really good comeback on Sunday. They played really well. It went down to like the last 3 players were on like the 16th, 17th hole, and it was like you didn't know what was going to end up happening. So, that was sad for me. But
yeah.
It was nice to see Tom Watson. He was apologizing for America, and rightfully so. You don't there's not the place, especially honestly. I hate to say this, but there are probably other sports where you expect it. But there's a reason they call golf the gentleman's game, and it's kind of embarrassing when that does happen. It really is.
That's worse than like a football game. Like The Eagles fans around me yesterday weren't even that like cruel and I mean some of them were obnoxious, but not like that. Like
No. Well, a good Commish cast, and now we've got a goal to get Tony Gonzalez on here. So so we can definitely go from there.
Well, I know we don't talk much baseball, but playoffs starting, World Series predictions. Wrap it up.
I'm actually kind of excited for baseball for the playoffs.
All right.
I think Yankees Red Sox is going to be really interesting because then the winner of that plays Toronto.
And how are the Dodgers a 5th seed?
They lost their division.
I know, but I'm just saying. I mean, geez, it's the best team that money can buy. Just come on.
Well, look at the team with the highest payroll. The Mets.
I was going to say
collapsed.
The Mets. That's. But that's the Mets.
No hard feelings here from a Braves fan. I mean,
that is an all-time collapse.
Yeah,
that's true.
Unbelievable. Good for the Reds.
I'm gonna go with the same kind of for the Buffalo Bills kind of thing. I'm going for Believeland, the Guardians. That's 50. What is it? 58, 59 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's where I'm going.
They were 8 games under 500. 33 days ago.
Yeah.
They went 22-8. They were 22-8 to end the season.
Yeah.
And they won the division.
Yeah.
So
it's like the St. Louis Blues, baby.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you in rooting for them. I think it's going to be a weird year. I think it'll be like a Brewers. I'm hoping it's like a Mariners Brewers kind of World Series. Like the MLB would be upset because none of
everybody honestly would watch it because that's if it's Los Angeles and the Yankees, great. There's going to be New York and LA that's going to be watching it. Nobody else.
We say that, but then like the NBA finals this year was Indiana, Oklahoma City, and I think they had pretty low ratings for that.
But that's that's basketball. I'm not sure that's. Oh, I'm sorry. But I tell you, if you get a World Series with Cleveland and whoever, Milwaukee, that would be
I think the Mariners would be one of the coolest.
Mariners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying Seattle versus the Phillies. I mean, I just think the Phillies, when they get the playoffs, they're just a different team completely.
Yeah. Can't pull for anything Philadelphia. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I don't like them either, but you know.
I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I think unfortunately you're probably right. It'll probably end up being like Dodgers, Blue Jays or something. Not fun, but yeah, I'm rooting for the Mariners and the Brewers. Those are my two sides.
Nice.
Well,
Well, the Brewers used to be in Seattle. They were the Seattle Pilots.
Really?
Hmm
I did not know that.
Interesting.
So there's a little factoid to wrap it up.
yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
wait.
I like it.
One last factoid.
Okay.
Scoregami tie.
Oh,
Exciting.
40. Yeah.
40,
See that
40.
I can see.
I don't like the tie
I-
though, guys. I just don't like it.
Oh.
I don't
Second
like it.
highest scoring tie ever.
It's crazy. I didn't see the end until I was watching when the Instagram went. I didn't, I was watching on my phone, just the stats and stuff like that because I was just so unhappy. But I mean, literally, what was like Green Bay? Like literally, almost blew it by throwing the
Yeah.
ball, and they had 1 second. I'm like, wow. I mean, you'd think they'd get some home cooking on the score time. I mean that I only saw it once, but I mean that could have very easily gone from 1-0.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. Because when do you stop the clock? When it's thrown out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
exactly when it crosses the back of the what,
That's where
So I-
Jerry should have stepped in and been like, oh,
like
zero.
like Dr. Evil,
Yeah.
So, I mean, but hey, hats off to him, man. That could have been the worst night in Dallas Cowboy history, and it wasn't.
They played hard.
They held their own, man. I tell you, I'm just hoping that Dak can now that he's got the
Yeah. Hey, good news for all of us NFC fans too, that the Packers aren't this mega team that we all were worried that they
Yeah.
might be. They
Yes,
clearly have
yes,
some
this is true.
flaws.
Yes.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah. I think it's
All right.
still Philly and Detroit right now. I mean,
Yeah.
those two teams.
Huh?
I'll
I
root for
tell
the
ya,
Lions over them. But
I tell you, after
Philly.
seeing the Philadelphia Bucks game yesterday, in us at 60% strength. I mean, honestly, I'm hopeful. Now, you're not going to necessarily always get healthier because you're going to have some new things, and we've lost some people already. I think we could
Yeah,
at least be
Bucky's
up
hurt
there.
right now.
What's that?
Bucky's hurt right now.
Is he really?
He got an MRI today. They haven't disclosed what the injury is or anything, and he finished the game. So hopefully
he
it's not too
will.
bad, but
Yeah.
who knows?
But I'm
Well-
just saying, I mean, again, Philadelphia, I mean, they are definitely good, and Detroit's got all the weapons, but still, I think it's just anybody's ballgame.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well, I think as long as you guys got Baker, like you're in it. You're in every game.
Hmm.
I think I'm impressed how Baker's matured and just come into his own down there. And
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
makes my heart happy for him.
yeah. He's a good young man, and he's
I was about to
speaking
say,
of maturing. He has
yeah.
really matured. He's very impressed. So big fan. So
Yeah.
all right, my guys, it's been a great one. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure, sir.
All right. We're gonna get
So-
another one in before you go to France.
We got to get one more in before we go
Yeah.
to France. Yes, so we'll have a French version. So we'll definitely do that. So I'm sure we'll have some good topics. Hopefully the BKF and Heroes will have turned it around a little
I was,
bit. And
I was gonna say, when do you guys move there?
we're going there. October 28th is a Tuesday.
28th?
So we're gonna So we'll
We'll
probably
get one in
Yeah.
before you go. Christopher,
Yeah.
when you're in France, when we do these, I'll make sure you have French subtitles so your crowd in France can understand what
You got to
we're
do
saying
it
here.
from like a cafe, drinking
Yeah.
wine and
Yeah, we're gonna have a different time because we're 6 hours there. So this would be 4 a.m. for me. So
Yeah.
we'll have to figure out something there. We might have to do a little early afternoon for you guys. So.
yeah, maybe like a Sunday morning before a game or something. That'd be fun. Do a little preview of the day.
That might be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Yes, we're actually going to Munich and also possibly the Lille. So we're going to be the Buccaneer, the international fan of the year. Tobias
Nice.
is actually
Nice.
in Munich, and I've been communicating. I'm actually going by One Buck Place tomorrow, and I'm picking up some. Don't tell him, but I'm picking up some Buccaneer gifts to take him.
That's
um,
awesome.
which is really nice and nice of the Bucks. So I'm going to take it over and surprise them. And so maybe we'll do that one Sunday when we go to watch, our away game, watch, and we'll do that, and we'll have Tobias, the German-speaking Buccaneer fan of the year. So
I love that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
I'm not sure what we could
We'll
say
be
together, but
international. We'll
there-
we'll take this. We'll take this
We'll-
show
we'll
international.
get some Google Translate. Yeah,
Yes.
international. That'll be yeah. So come November, we'll do that. So
All right.
all right, man.
All right. All right. Well, it's a great one. It's good seeing everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed, our multiple viewers. Enjoy our
Yes.
podcast.
Yes. Well, this is I tell you, we're gonna hit that double digit soon, I'm sure. So
Yes.
I think, I think we could have talked about every single NFL team. We could have talked for another 3 hours about all
Oh,
the rest of this,
easily.
but I think
Well-
we hit the highlights.
Well, I always tell Tara we could talk. This could be our jobs, and we
Yeah.
would love
Oh
it.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
same. So,
Yeah.
all right, guys. All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.
All right.
See you guys.
See you guys.
All right. All right. We're out. All right.